Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney. Before we actually get into this, I want to apologize for not uploading the past few weeks. 1 week was work, just a lot of things going on there. And then the second week I was sick, and I'm just now kind of starting to feel better, so. And I had no backlogs of my videos, so that kind of sucked. So I apologize for that. But we are back with a really great video, and that is the Tohru Handa resin figure that we are going to unbox. This is a figure I never thought I would see the day that it would actually happen. So I'm very excited that we finally have, even if it is unlicensed, I'm just super grateful we now have a Tohru figure, because the fact that they've made scales of Yuki and Kyo and then droids of Yuki and Kyo, and we're like, let's not add, like, you know, the main character too. So don't know why she's not getting that treatment, but I'm glad that We Are Anime Collectors is giving her that treatment, and I'm hoping to see more Fruits Basket figures by them. I know we have, if you're a fan of shoujo, they are coming out with a few, actually they're going to be doing like a whole scene of Ouran High School Host Club. I have already pre-ordered one of them. I don't know if you can pre-order him anymore, but Honey Senpai, they have already have him up, and I already got him at least paid for. He's not shipped out or anything yet. So if you are a fan of shoujo figures and you're okay with unlicensed resins, I do really recommend them. They listen to feedback as the figures are being made, so you always end up with, honestly, a really great product. Before we actually unbox her, let's talk about the box itself. And honestly, very light, and I'm very grateful that she is light. I believe she is a 1/6 scale, so it is a good size. She has a gorgeous base that I know of, but the artwork on this is beautiful. I love all the little details. And then if you get onto actually both of the sides, so I'm only going to show one side, we have Kyo and Yuki in their animal forms, and then just says Tohru Handa. And then on the back side, we have another just beautiful artwork of Tohru. This is, I believe these are both official artworks that they probably just put on the boxes, because this is actually some of my favorite official like illustrations that they have. Like when I bought one of the DVD box sets, I mainly got it because it had the gorgeous illustrations. So very happy that they went with this, and it just looks so beautiful. So very excited. But yeah, you can see right here that it is We Are Anime Collectors. This is kind of their brand logo, I guess. And then they are We Are a Design, I think, is kind of their own brand of figures, because, you know, every figure company has to have a name. So I think that's kind of their name. But let's go ahead and we will go over to the kind of voiceover while we unbox her. Alright, here is how it all looks in the styrofoam packaging. Everything overall looks pretty good and very well placed. It was actually kind of hard to pull like even the flowers out because it was so well like kind of secured in, which is a good thing. Overall everything looked fine. I didn't notice until I started like actually assembling it that a little piece was broken, but it was very minor and something I could glue. Like, it was a pretty clean break, so I was able to glue it. It's just like the little chicken and strawberry thing on the base. So here I didn't even notice it, like that's how like it kind of just blends in. But here is the details of the base. The grass is actually kind of stabby, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of hurts. But I do like the overall detail to it, as well as all the adorable little zodiac kind of like stones shapes, and the little monkey just chilling back there. And I do love all the strawberry detailing. I don't think I got a close enough glance of those. But here we have kind of what the like back part of it looks like with the number. And then we have just the body of Tohru herself, while she's holding the little cat Kyo. I will say, I don't think he like turned out the best. I don't think really any of the animal ones turned out amazing, but overall I still am pretty happy with him, and I think it's just little adorable details. Here you can see that they did make her skirt a little longer. There was some controversy on them making her skirt too short and including a panty shot in the promo pictures, which that was a problem. So they did make the skirt a little longer, but I will say I feel like her skirt's always been pretty short. I do not condone the panty shot in the slightest, but I digress on that. But she just slots right into the base, and it was a pretty easy fix, or just to be able to like slot her in. Then here we have her beautiful head sculpt. I think it turned out amazing. I think they really did such justice on this. The hair flow is beautiful. I did have a little bit of like kind of, I don't know if it's like glue or something kind of showing on the back of mine, but it's very, very minor and blends pretty well. Other than that, I think the paint job and just overall head sculpt is fantastic. I love the flow of the hair, and she slotted right in perfectly. Then we are adding the other hand piece so she can have her complete hand. There's a little bit of like a nick in her hair that I think her fingers kind of like will just kind of sit on, but the sculpt of the hand was even nice with like pretty like painted nails and everything. Here we have the dog Shiguri version. I think he looks a little derpy, especially in this clip. I don't think he looks as derpy in person, but again, like I was saying, the animals overall are kind of like derps, but it's not bad. So he does easily slot in. There is just like nice spot for him to kind of just magnetize in, and I think that turned out nicely. Now we're gonna kind of look at the flowers that have the little zodiac details on them. So this one has Kyo and Yuki, obviously, and I think it turned out beautiful. I think they did a gorgeous job on these sculpts of these flowers. And then we also have the gang, the snake, the dragon or seahorse, and then I'm assuming dog, because I'm assuming it's all three of them. I will say the little brown guys kind of throw me off, but I don't know what other zodiac he would be, I guess. I was struggling to think about that, but that one just kind of slots in here. I will say I had a lot of problems with the flowers, so these clips are a little choppy and you will see me kind of cutting from them because it took me like 30 plus minutes and looking at pictures and trying to figure it out to try to really piece together where each piece went. Some were magnetized, some had kind of like little like sticks you had to like stick in. I don't know, it was just kind of a war. So here's me struggling, and then I was like, yeah, I can't do this. Here is me where I fixed the part, so now the whole base is assembled and I am missing a butterfly. There is supposed to be a little butterfly here. I could not find it in my box, so that kind of sucks, but it's not a huge deal. Then we have our little bun on this sunflower, and I will say I did end up knocking like one of the flowers off in the back when I was trying to get some of these sunflowers on, like one of the little white strawberry flowers. I ended up breaking that, but I glued it back in. But yeah, you can kind of see like every piece has like a different design, so it's kind of straightforward, but kind of not. I don't know, I was kind of struggling. Maybe I'm dumb, I don't know. And then here we have the very significant little hat. I'm not going to spoil it in case you haven't watched the season 3 or have read the manga, even though it's been a little while. I still don't want to spoil it because I do think this is a pretty sweet moment. So we do have the hat, and it just sits there. I will say I wish there was a spot for it to sit better. And then we have this little little nick on Tohru's shoulder, so we can just slot in Yuki in his little rat form. I think he turned out pretty good. A little rough texture wise, but overall not that bad, and he just like slots right in and he just kind of chills on her shoulder, and it's very cute, and I do think his is like the best face that they have. So here's kind of just showing all the little zodiac stones and the grass with all the pretty little details. And then that was a little flower I snapped off, but I was able to super glue it back on. I was so mad at myself. And then these little monkey butt cheeks were kind of killing me, so I had to get a little close up on that for sure. But here is just the overall details of the base. And I think for now I'm just going to kind of shut up and we'll just have some music play while I have all this pretty B-roll of the figure itself. I think it turned out amazing. Okay, so she is assembled, and overall, I think she turned out amazing. A few gripes on my thing is I had one thing break, and then one thing I didn't know that was broken, which was the little chicken. So it is gluing, that's why I'm not trying to touch or hold her right now. I have the super glue on for those pieces to get those fixed. And I have noticed though that I am missing a butterfly. I'm kind of torn on like messaging about that, and seeing if they will send me a piece just because it's such a small piece, and like, but then I'm like, I did pay a lot of money, I do want all my pieces, but because like I ripped through that box and like dug around all in the styrofoam to see if I could find anything. I could not find the butterfly, so I don't know what happened there. I think I saw another person on TikTok didn't have one either, because I was like looking around, I'm like, is this maybe like a common thing? So I don't know, I'm kind of torn on fighting for it. We'll see. But I think she's beautiful, and overall I'm still very, very happy with how everything turned out. Obviously, like, some of the animals are a little derpy and a little, I feel could be a little smoother, but it's really not that big of a deal to me. I do wish that our little bunny would be turned around, but he's not, unfortunately. The little monkey with the butt cheeks killing me. The hat is honestly could have been a little smaller. I get why they probably did it just for, like, you know, the effects and stuff. It does look a little comedically big on the base, which is not a big deal. Like, that's okay for what it is. I also just kind of wish there was more of a direct place to put it. It does kind of just like slide off every time, even with the very textured grass. And Tohru's eyes, I don't know why they're kind of pink, because she has brown eyes as far as I know. At least all the merch and everything I've ever seen, she has had brown eyes. But it's, again, not a big deal. It's very minor things. I do remember them having issues with the skirt being too short, but they did make it longer. But I mean, the outfit overall, I believe, has always kind of just had a shorter skirt. It was too much of a panty shot, I will say. And they even had a picture when they had this up for pre-order of a panty shot. That was a problem and it caused a lot of controversy there. I was also kind of like, that's weird, because Tohru is very much like a character that I do not ever want to see in anything other than her pure form. So it was a little jarring, but they did end up lowering the skirt a little bit. You can still kind of see up the panties if you look up, but just in normal sight, she's fine. I love the flow of her hair, and yeah, the animals are a little cartoonish. Especially their eyes, but everything else is beautiful. I love the details that they have to the strawberries, and I just think this is still a gorgeous piece. I was fighting for my life getting these sunflowers in, but we're all good now. So everything is fine. It did come with, you know, that typical little blue like stuff that you could use. I don't know what it was supposed to be used for, because I don't think I had anything that I needed that for, so everything else was fine. But besides the flowers, everything kind of slotted in really easy, even down to Yuki, who is just chilling on her shoulder now. And then it did come with, of course, you always get like a little badge to kind of describe the number. And I have 184 out of 248 that they have made. I do love it. And then they also have a little acrylic stand for it to sit on. I think it may be magnetic though. It's heavy enough that it definitely could be magnetic. But I'm just gonna have her chill there with her little rice ball, and I do think she is 100% worth the price that I did pay for her. She is a bigger figure. You can definitely tell she is a 1/6 scale, and I just think it's gorgeous. Like, I think they really nailed it, and I hope to see more Fruits Basket figures come out potentially in the future. I would love to see some of even like the trio, the older trio that has like Shigure and all everybody, Hatori, and I'm blanking on everybody's names for some reason. I know his name starts with an A, the little snake one. But I would love to see more figures come out. I would absolutely buy them all. So I'm hoping this will push them more in the future. It seems like this was a pretty well sought after figure and very well received overall. So hoping to see more. But yeah. So let me know in the comments, what Fruit Baskets character would you want to see made into a resin figure, or maybe a licensed one. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!